The Las Vegas Raiders have picked up their first win against the Denver Broncos, and Mr. Unlimited proved that he is quite, well, limited.
Be careful though, it's spicy.
They come in with blocked there by Glasgow.
Josh Jacobs was clearly the MVP of the game. Not only did he get a career high of 144 rushing yards, but it was all the little things he did throughout this game which made him special. Check out this creative formation where you have Josh Jacobs playing fullback, and the Raiders are going to fake the fullback dive and then pitch this pass to Zamir White. That fake allowed Zamir White to get a 20-yard run, which pretty much sealed this victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And also, this is just a typical passing play, but Josh Jacobs is making sure he chips Randy Gregory here, allowing Kolton Miller to give Derek Carr some time to complete this pass. But Josh Jacobs proved he's still one of the elite backs in the NFL, and the Raiders might regret declining his fifth-year option. Josh Jacobs right now is second in the NFL with missed tackles forced. Only Nick Chubb is ahead of him with 32 missed tackles forced, while Josh Jacobs sits at 22. And we have been waiting for the Raiders and Josh McDaniels to put the ball in Josh Jacobs' hands. He had 28 carries in this game. His highest before then for this season was only 19 carries. Week 1 only had 10, and last week only had 13 carries, so hopefully we see more Josh Jacobs going forward. But the Raiders were not without struggles in this game. You saw the Raiders have to punt the football several times, tons of red zone drives resulting in field goals, and there was some frustration. There's also some frustration for Amik Robertson as Jerry Jeudy got a big reception off of him and even kind of mocked him and put the, hey, you're short kind of motion here, because Amik Robertson is only 5'8". But that inspired Amik Robertson as this guy started hitting hard, making tons of tackles against the Denver Broncos, and then had this amazing fumble recovery by the Melvin Gordon fumble forced by Daron Harmon. That was one of the most spectacular plays of the year. First and 10, motion, hand off the middle, and oh my goodness, Melvin Gordon has fumbled the ball. Melvin Gordon has fumbled the ball, and Amik Robertson is returning the football, and he is not down, and Amik Robertson is going all the way, and he has scored a Raiders touchdown! Touchdown! This defensive touchdown was the first Raiders defensive touchdown since 2019. And Amik Robertson has the highest PFF grade of his career so far with 66.2 on the season. Let's see if the 2024 round pick could turn this around and end up being one of the great draft picks of 2020, since there are so many negatives right now outside of him and John Simpson. And even though the passing game was not spectacular in this past matchup, since we relied heavily on Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr still made some key plays that helped the Raiders stay in it, mainly with running the football, doing an amazing scramble here, even breaking a tackle. Huge gain for the Raiders. Derek Carr had a season high of rushing yards with 40 yards on the day with 7 carries. Also had this key rush on one of the final drives of the game to help the Raiders seal the victory, picking up the first down here. And it really was the second to last drive for the Raiders that really was the most critical moment of the game. The Denver Broncos had just scored and were in striking distance of coming back and perhaps even getting the lead against the Las Vegas Raiders, but the Raiders decided to put together a lengthy drive that drained the clock and also made some key plays to keep moving the football. Davante Adams with a critical reception here, breaking a tackle and getting the first down. Davante Adams led the Raiders in receiving yards in this game, picking up 101 yards. No one else came close, and the Raiders were able to eventually punch the football in with Josh Jacobs sealing the victory against the Denver Broncos. And yes, there were some big plays that the Raiders gave up on the defensive side of the football, but overall they played a really great game and actually have put together a great season so far. The Raiders offense also had some issues with communication. You see the screen pass to Mac Hollins, Kolton Miller ends up being in the way there. It just seems like there are certain moments where everybody is not on the same page on the offensive side of the football, but altogether the Raiders put together a really impressive game, and it has to make you wonder, like, do the Raiders have a shot now in the AFC West? We have been averaging 200 comments a video. Make sure you leave a comment. I want you to summarize this game in one word. Drop it in the comment below. It was such a great victory that Derek Carr even hugged hater beat reporter Josh Dubow after the victory. But unfortunately for the Raiders, there were a lot of Broncos fans in the crowd at Allegiant Stadium. Make sure you buy your tickets and save $20 off your first order with my promo code WiFiWillie through SeatGeek.com. Use promo code WiFiWillie for $20 off your first order for Raiders tickets or tickets to anything. And Russell Wilson had to Broncos country take a ride back home to Denver after taking the L, but he was nice enough to exchange jerseys with Derek Carr, and both of them showed great sportsmanship. And now the Raiders travel to Kansas City for Monday Night Football. Can they take advantage of this opportunity and beat the Chiefs at home? Even though the Chiefs are highly favored right now, can the Raiders shock everybody by picking up a victory this Monday? Let me know in the comments below. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.